our businesses are all about relationships. And if you don't remember that, then you're not going to have a successful business because you have to take care of your customers.
Welcome to the Other 99% podcast. I'm your host, Lisa Duck, a coffee-loving direct sales enthusiast who's obsessed with a good digital system. Come join me for a realistic look into the world of direct sales. We'll explore inspiring perspectives, learn about unique business tips, and celebrate success stories that often go untold. Because on the Other 99%, every seller matters.
Hey everyone, it is me, Lisa, and welcome back to another episode of The Other 99%. I'm here with Susan Larimer, our co-host, and today we're going to talk about a topic that is like really important for direct sellers, because without this, we wouldn't have a business, and we need to really dive into this. So I'm going to jump right over to you, Susan, and let's jump in and talk to our listeners and tell us why customer care matters so much to our direct sales business.
Yeah. And, we've talked about this before too. Our businesses are all about relationships. And if you don't remember that, then you're not going to have a successful business because you have to take care of your customers. So customer care, when you are taking really good care of your customers, it's just building that relationship. They get to know you, you get to know them. Lisa and I have talked about this before too. And then all of a sudden you have this relationship where they're sending you pictures of their grandkids and their pets, and it goes beyond the products. And that's what you want. You just want to have good relationships with your customers so that they feel comfortable with you. You can reach out to them, and it goes both ways. And that's what makes our business so fulfilling, I think.
I had a customer reach out to me. I mean, I'm not even an epicure anymore, but she still reaches out to me and we have conversation all the time. And last year she was like so amazing. The doorbell rang. It was my birthday. And there she is standing with a cup with a plant that she actually, what is it, the proper word, propagated, I guess, from one of her mom's jade plants. So she gave me this little like jade plant. And so I sent her a picture and I'm like, look, I don't even have a green thumb, but it's still alive. It's like, and then she's telling me, oh, you might want to remove the bottom leaf and all this stuff. But, it's like, that is the kind of customer care that you want to put out so that you build the relationships like that, right?
Yeah.
So that it always makes me smile when I think of the relationships. And I had another customer come by my house yesterday because she was picking up some of my Epicure inventory that I still have left. And she's sitting there talking to me like if it's the old, like we know each other forever. And it's like, how you been? And that's all this stuff. And it's like, it just makes my heart smile. It's like, these people are not just another number in my business, and they don't see me as the big box store where I just want to take their money and run. So I love that. I think that's what really, really matters, right?
I think, and the first time someone purchases from you, they're a customer, and they can stay a customer, or you can take it to that next level and they can be a friend. They can be someone who you really treasure in your life. There are some of my customers, they started out as customers. They were a friend of a friend. I didn't know them. I met them. They made a purchase. I nurtured that relationship, taking care of them first through products. And then it was a little bit more. And then like you, Lisa, now we send each other birthday presents and we're constantly checking in with each other. And I've never met her in person, but I feel like I know her. And she made a comment. We were texting the other day, and she said, if we were talking about a certain product, we're all trying to drink enough water. So we're trying to think of, how can I drink more water? And she uses these lemon packets, and she buys them on Amazon, and it's a packet of like lemon juice that she'll pour into her water at restaurants or whatever. And she's like, if you were my neighbor, I would run over and give you some. If we were neighbors, we'd be in all kinds of trouble together. Like, how fun would that be? I love that.
That's so cute.
So yeah, taking care of your customers and being consistent with it too. It's not just a one done thing. It's nurturing the relationship through the entire duration of your time together.
Yeah. And I will say that, that consistency can look different for every direct seller, right?
Hmm.
I mean, there's guidelines, but you take what works for your business. The key is that you need to be consistently making your customer feel valued, right?
Hmm.
You need to make them feel like they mean something to you and they're not just somebody that you reach out to when at the end of the month and need to hit that sales
Yes.
goal because that's a
Right.
no-no.
Right. Right. If it's
Yeah.
constantly sales, sales, products, there's no relationship there. And they're
Hmm.
probably not going to purchase from you much longer too because it's too much. You
Yeah.
have to have the heart in it.
Yeah, for sure.
Okay, Lisa, you are the systems girl and the app girl. So what are some different ways that we can track our customer care?
Okay, well let's start from the beginning because what I do now, I did not do 20 years ago, right? When I first came into this business, it was all done by pen and paper, a notebook, and there's still people who do it that way,
Yeah.
right? I mean,
Yeah.
if your system isn't broken, don't fix it.
Right.
My pen and paper system was broken because I can never read my writing after it was done. So, for me to sit there and write was just it just didn't make any sense because I was
Yeah.
scrambling trying to figure out what I was supposed to do because I couldn't read the note that I left for myself. So, I of course moved everything to digital, right? So, you can look at things like a CRM, which Oh My High has amazing CRM, which you can like keep your customer information all nice, neat, and orderly. There's things like Genie Chat. You can even use boards like a sort of like a CRM. It's not a great one, but you could create like a folder for each customer. You could even use your notes app. You can use your phone, the phone book even, right? And create the information in there. But what you really want to do is you want to have a place to track all of your customers' contact information and little notes and tips about them. I've seen people, I know Kimberly Polito, for example, has an amazing Google Sheet customer care tracker. Like, I
Mm.
mean, it even tracks like when their next delivery is due. It's like
Yes.
she shared it with me many times, and it's like I'm just sitting there like, wow, this is like amazing, right? And then there's also things like I used to do this too. I would leave, and I still do it. I shouldn't say I used to do it. I still do it on the odd occasion where I leave things unread or I mark them
Yes.
unread in like
I do
Facebook
that too.
Messenger or in like a
Yep.
text feed, just because it's easy to go back to spot the unread message and deal with it that way. But I always like to have like a central CRM, a customer relationship management system. Like, I don't know actually what's the proper terminology for the CRM? Customer retention management, customer
I don't know.
relation
Yeah.
management, right? Something along that line. That's
Yeah.
basically what it is,
Customer.
right?
Customer
Yeah,
is what we're focusing on.
yeah. So I always like to have something, whether it is something like Oh My High or even Project Broadcast, where you have a place to put all of their information. Because I want you to tell the listeners what are some important things to track in this?
Yeah, so it's funny because sometimes I'll get an order from someone and I'm like, "Oh, like I don't recognize their name. Like are they new? Is this their first time ordering from me?" And then I'll look back in my history in our back office and they'd purchased from me before and I'm like, "I don't even know who this person is." Like,
Mm-hmm.
what? And I hate when that happens because I want to know who all of my customers are. So, basic things to track: their name, first name, last name, address, phone number, email, birthday. That's a nice
Mm-hmm.
little nice thing that you can do if you can send them birthday cards or birthday messages on their birthday. So that's a nice one. Their order history. Now, some of your back offices, I'm so thankful, Lemongrass Spa, we have a great order history. We can look back at any year or any person, or we can look it up by product to see what people have purchased. So that is something that you should track. If they have a favorite product, you'd like to keep that in mind so that when there's a sale, you can say, "Hey, I thought of you because your favorite product is on sale this month."
Yeah. And I love when
Um,
you're using like a digital system. It's
yeah.
so easy to like sort of filter out you could just go in and type out, oh, they liked the peach lip balm or whatever, and it's like it's coming back. So all of those customers, you're going to send a nice little personalized message. Hey, I know that you loved this before. But
Yep.
that's another reason why I'm a systems person, right?
Yeah. Yeah. And then also, if you're at like a vendor event or at a home party, you might want to track where you met that person. And that's something that I didn't do. That's something that our back office doesn't do. That's something only you can do. So make sure you put a little note like, met this person at the vendor event at the, farmer's market, or met it at the fundraiser at school. So that will help you where you met the person, or even things like their kids' names, something major that happened in their life. So you can follow up and say, hey, like, how are you doing with your treatment? Or how was that vacation that you had? So, as many details as you can to get to know them and to make it personal. I think that is important.
Yeah. And do you have like a recommended follow-up like timeline that you use?
I do, Lisa. I do. We love to set each other up. So I have my customer care. I talked about it in one of your early episodes on my customer care. And it was, a couple years into my direct sales journey where I was constantly trying to get new customers all the time. And then I had a realization, like, why am I not taking care of the customers that I already have? I would let them purchase from me once at a party and I would thank them. And then I would never contact them again.
Mm-hmm.
So, of course, they're not going to buy from me again. They're going to go to the store. They probably just purchased from me because it was a party and they felt obligated. I finally created this customer care system, and now I've been using it for, 10-ish years. So the very first step, it's within 24 hours when you get an order. This is the most important step. Send them a thank you. Call them, email them, text them. Thank you so much for your order. I really appreciate you. I'll let you know when everything ships. And that's it. That's your first touch point. And I always tell the story. I purchased from another direct sales company at an online party, and I made a purchase, and I never got a thank you. Never got any kind of acknowledgement that my order went through,
Mm-hmm.
that I placed the order. I remember reaching out like, did you get my order? Like, and not to get a thank you at all when you're in direct sales and you're running a party for your hostess and you're asking for orders and the customer orders and you don't thank them. That
Mm-hmm.
was a huge turnoff, and I never purchased from her again. I just, 10 years later, I still remember that feeling I got of not being thanked. So if you do nothing else in this sequence, make sure you do the thank you within 24 hours if possible. And then the next step, we get notification in our emails when an order ships, and we get the tracking information, which I love. So as soon as I get that tracking information, I will text the customer, start stalking the UPS man. Your order is expected to arrive on Friday. Enjoy, or take a picture, or let me know that everything arrives safely. And I think that's a really nice thing that we can do for our customers. After that, 2 weeks after they place their order, I send another text. You can call, text, or email. And all it says is, hello, just checking in to see how you're doing with your products. Did everything arrive safely? Do you have any questions for me?
Mm-hmm.
Now, sometimes people don't respond, but they're hearing me just checking in. I'm not asking them to buy anything else. I'm not being salesy or spammy. This is all customer care. I'm caring for the customers. But a lot of times they'll say, oh my gosh, the peach scent, it smells so good. And, whatever they got, they're always so excited. But this is also a time where every once in a while, someone will say, my order didn't arrive yet. That's a problem. If it's 2 weeks after they ordered and they didn't get their order and I got shipping notification, so then I need to go into, customer care mode, taking care of this, figuring out where their package is, contacting home office, making sure that they get their products. I'm going through that right now with a customer, and she wants her peach products so badly, and they're lost. I think
Oh
someone
man.
stole them. I think they went to the wrong house and
Aw.
someone else is enjoying them. So I'm working on that. But if I hadn't checked in, they might have forgotten the order, or they might not reach out to me, or they might call home office
Mm-hmm.
directly. So I want to be the one to take care of them. So then 3 months after they place the order, we are a consumable products company. So that's when I know if they're using the product consistently every day, they will run low in about 3 months. So 3 months is when I'm checking in and saying, hey, I hope this message finds you well. Just checking in to see how your product supply is holding up. Are you running low on anything, or do you want to try anything new? I can share our monthly specials with you. If you're good on anything, like, great, have a fantastic rest of your week. And it's funny because a lot of times at that time when I send that message out, I'll get a message back saying, oh my gosh, you read my mind. Like, how did you know I was running low on this? I kept meaning to order it or reach out to you.
Yeah.
So, and then if they don't place an order between day 1 and 6 months, then they're going to get a text from me saying, hey, I was just thinking of you. I have a $10 off coupon, $100 or more. I hate to see these coupons expire and go to waste. Can you use it?
Mm-hmm.
So you always want to get them back in the customer care loop. If they make a purchase any time within that 6-month period, you want to take them out of the loop and put them at the beginning with another thank you. Oh, that is my customer care. We'll have a link in the show notes. I have a freebie to give you, my customer care cheat sheet, which is exactly what I just walked you through. But it works amazingly well. I've been using it for many years and have great, great relationships with my customers.
Yeah. Yeah. Susan's customer care is killer. I always tell her, I'm like, you have to share this. You have to share this because even though, I mean, I've had customer care systems, it's like she is consistent. She has it like nailed down to a T, and it's like her freebie. You really need to go check the link in the show notes because it's given away in such a nice, neat little package too that you're going to be able to just take it from your email and apply it to your system and use it.
Awesome. Okay, Lisa, back to you. What are some tips that will help us stay consistent?
So they always say that, in order to create a system, you need to do something consistently for like 21 to 30 days, right?
Mm-hmm.
And in order to build that consistency, you need to pick a system and work with it. If it's not working after 5 days, don't give up. Don't give up. Just try to be consistent because there might be just a learning curve or something like that. Now, again, these systems could go back to what I was mentioning before. It could be something like pen and paper. You could be using a calendar. You could be using an app. You could be using like an Excel or Google Sheet. Anything like that will work for you. You need to figure out what it is that you want to track because again, I'm going to go back to Kimberly Polito. Like when you see her tracking system, it's amazing, but I think it would probably overwhelm the masses because it is like it has everything. So you need to figure out your system and work with it, just keeping it consistent. Yeah. Another thing that I have found over the years being a direct seller is that you need to create time for customer care. And it needs to be scheduled in. Okay. You don't necessarily have to do customer care every day because this is what I found when I was working with my team. They used to get very frustrated when the uplines were talking about customer care on a daily basis. Well, if you have one customer a week shopping with you, it gets a little frustrating going in and checking your email to make sure that there's no, orders coming through. But if you set a specific date, okay, my customer care happens on Tuesdays at 10 a.m. So every Tuesday, 10 a.m., you go through your back office, you go through your emails, and you create that system of checking, pulling that customer's information out and applying it to whatever system that you have established. One thing that I have found that you need to do is like set reminders because this is something that we can easily forget, right? Especially if you're not doing it on a daily basis. So whether it's a reminder in your calendar blocking is amazing. I've started doing that. It drives Susan crazy when I have the colors everywhere. She's like, no, I'm not busy. It's like, no, I know
we don't share calendars well.
Yeah, Susan deleted all of my calendar.
They were cluttering my space.
But if you have something that, that just reminds you to do it, I have alarms set on my phone and I name the alarms because when they go off, I'm like, well, what's that for? And I look at it, it's like, oh yeah, yeah, that's what I got to do, right? And basically just don't overthink it. Don't think like, so for example, if you take Susan's customer care system and you look at it and it's like, oh my God, now I have to sit down and do this, this, and this. Don't overthink it. Start with the thank you.
Mhm.
Just start,
Yeah.
right? Like Susan
Yeah.
said, do not. That is one piece that you cannot just let go to the wayside.
Right.
You need
Right.
to thank your customers for the purchase. So, I
So
mean,
there are some, I don't know if it's an Android. I don't think I have an iPhone and I don't know that I can do it on mine, but can you, like, we talk about Project Broadcast and that's what I use for my customer care. And you
mhm,
can schedule out texts. So as soon as I get shipping notification, if it's like, 9 o'clock at night, I'm not going to text my customer and say, oh, your
yeah.
package is coming. But
I'm
I
pretty sure
can,
you could do it on Apple too. Yeah,
you can schedule out a
I think
text.
so.
So as soon as you get that order, if it's too late at night or whatever, write the text, schedule it for the next day, or
Mhm.
schedule the follow up for 3 months.
Yeah.
You can do that too.
Yeah, for sure. I'm pretty sure that I was reading something. Because I use Project Broadcast, so I never do it through my personal text, but I'm pretty sure I was reading something the other day that said that you can schedule in your iPhone now, which is kind of
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah.
So, all right. So, let's talk about how you can add personal touches to your customer care. Because I know there are some personal touches and I really want to talk about this that just sound a bit icky to me. Like,
Oh, icky.
I mean, I love the birthday messages and the thank you notes and stuff like that. Yeah, I don't love when people say, "Hey, happy birthday because it's your birthday. If you spend $100, I'll give you like $30
Yeah.
off." It's like
Yes.
that's not a birthday present, guys.
Right.
Like, come on.
Right.
Like,
I agree. I
you know,
agree.
get something little off of Amazon, even like a little, like, I don't know, a little like magnet or something for their fridge saying happy birthday or I don't know, but just don't make their special touch dependent on a sale.
Yeah.
That's just
I
like
agree.
not cool.
Let the birthday be a genuine, I'm thinking of you, happy birthday. No strings attached. I
Hmm.
agree 100%. And I think, I think we could have a debate about this and even in our academy. I think a lot of people are like, hey, it's a great opportunity for me to I'm giving them a gift, but I'm with you, Lisa. Like, I keep my sales and my company out of the birthday. I just want that birthday wish to come from Susan, from
Hmm.
me. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then another personal touch. I have a lemongrass consultant friend, and the thank you notes. He hand writes a thank you note for every single order. We meet together on Tuesday mornings, and she is a lot of the times walking to the mailbox. She lives like in an apartment complex, so she's walking down to the mailbox and delivering these thank you notes. Even if the person purchases 2, 3 times in 1 month, they get a handwritten thank you for every single order.
Imagine how
Customer
that
care
feels, right?
to a whole new level. Like, who doesn't love mail?
Yeah.
The only mail we get now is junk, it's ads, it's bills. But when you get a card with your name handwritten on it, you're like, what? Like, what's this?
Ask my
So, love
customers
that.
in teen though. They probably can't read what I write on the cards.
Is your
But
handwriting that
my
bad? I don't think I've ever seen.
my handwriting, it never used to be. My handwriting used to be like gorgeous. And then
Really?
I think this is just my thought process. I think my brain works faster than my hand. So it's like it looks like worse than doctor scribble now. And I'm like, "Oh my God, like I can't read that." So yeah, if you ever see me on a call or something and they're saying take notes, I have the notes app up on my screen and I'm typing them. I even tried like things like those remarkable tablets where I would handwrite and then it would go into
And they couldn't
like
read it.
no, it couldn't read it. So if you're like
Funny.
Lisa and you have horrible handwriting, there are ways to do that personal touch. There's, services that you could use that do the writing for you on cards, but it's
Yeah.
like digitally done. It still looks like handwriting, but it's not your handwriting so that they can actually read it. And then this is something that we were on, we had an Oh My High live support call this morning, and we were talking about ways to provide like that personal touch and that special care for your customers. And I was telling the girls about when I was doing my Epicure business, I used to have an email that went out mid-month that was specifically service-based. It would provide my customers with a list of 3 recipes that I thought they would enjoy, and there was not one sales pitch in there, right? It was
Yeah.
just, hey, here's some recipes I pulled from the files, thought you might like to see them. You might have the products already in your kitchen. Let me know if you try any, right?
Yeah.
And I would
Yep.
give them the recipes. So that really goes over well too, because it's that personal touch of you truly are being a service at that
Yeah.
point, right?
Yeah, and when people buy a product, I'm thinking of our Healing Elements balm. It's our top seller, and it's something that can be used for so many different skin conditions. And so when someone purchases that, like it's good for me to in that follow-up, maybe in that 2-week follow-up say, "Hey, did you know that product that you purchased, you can also use it for
Mm-hmm.
this, and this." So they have the product and now they're like, "Oh my gosh, I love this even more. I didn't know you could use it that way."
Yeah.
And then that last one, follow up just to check in. No sales pitch needed.
Mm-hmm.
I was just thinking of you today. Just sending you a message, let you know I was thinking of you, or how are you, or whatever. And don't use that as a lead up to a pitch. Let it stay as a I'm thinking of you, building a relationship, like genuine care.
Mm-hmm.
Don't use it as a, oh, by the way, such and such is on sale. My gosh, don't do that.
Yeah, there's a lot of stuff that people can not do. And it was
Ugh.
kind of funny because I was listening to a recording of a video that was done for a training today, like in this other group that I'm part of. And they got on there and they started flaunting the fact that the trainers together had 92 years of experience in
Oh my
direct
God.
sales. And then the one got up there and said like, wow, it just really dawned on me that what so and so said, I don't really need to send a link unless I ask permission first to send the link. And I'm
Mhm.
like, you have 92 years combined experience and you're just figuring this out. It was one of those things like, oh my God, permission-based
Yes.
marketing, right? So there's probably a lot of things that people do in their direct sales business that they might not be doing the best that they could, but
Mhm.
it's not their fault. It's
Yeah.
because that's how they were trained, right? And
Right.
people only know what they know. So I hope that you're taking some of these tips that we're giving and like using them and putting them into place.
Yeah. And I always think, I never want to be at the grocery store and run into a customer and have them steer their cart the other way
Yes.
to avoid me because I've been too salesy in the past. I want a customer to see me in the store and be like, "Oh my gosh, Susan, how are you?" So that's kind of the filter that I use. Like the messages that I'm giving, are they going to push people away or are they going to draw them closer to me?
Made
So
me giggle because I
you avoid people in the grocery store.
introvert Lisa. If I see people I know, it's like I'm the one pushing the grocery cart away.
Push it away from me.
And they're usually like yelling, Lisa, Lisa. And then it's like, oh my goodness, sorry. I couldn't see you. I don't have my distance glasses on.
That's terrible.
But it's like, and it's not like because I don't want to talk to them. It's like I am the introvert.
And
I
I'm like
don't
yelling at
like
people like,
social, I have social anxiety. So it's like, what do I say? I don't want there to be an awkward lull. And it's like, even if you get me on Zoom calls, if nobody's talking, I have to say something, even though I don't might not have anything to say because I can't stand the silence, right? But yeah, that just made me
Goodness.
giggle.
I'll track you down in the grocery store one day.
Yeah. So I guess we should really sum it up and say, we've talked about customer care. Some of you might just be starting your direct sales business. Some of you might be in your 10th year, your 20th year, whatever it is that you're listening. And you might be saying it's like, "Oh, I don't have a customer care system." It's too late. It's never too late
Never
to
too late.
start, right? So pick up these little tips that we're sharing, grab Susan's freebie in the show notes, and just put something into place. The key is that you're going to be, planting the seeds that are going to grow the relationship, right?
Yeah.
And that's what we need to do. So I hope that, you guys found a lot of ahas in this episode, and I hope you enjoy us doing our casual little giggles every now and then too. But I want to thank you so much for joining us again on another episode of The Other 99%. And we will see you again next week. Take care, everyone. Hey, thanks so much for taking the time to listen to the podcast. I hope you enjoyed this episode. If you would take a minute to rate and review the podcast, I would absolutely love it. And if you know someone who really needs to hear this podcast, please feel free to share it with them. More listeners, the better. And if you know someone who would like to be a guest on the podcast, or you yourself would like to be a guest, be sure to check the link in the show notes or visit lisaduck.com and click Be a Guest. We'll talk to you soon.